everyone, welcome to Crafty Kayla. Today I am so excited to share a tutorial for this adorable mini album I just made. Before we dive into the tutorial, I want to give you a quick look at the finished album so you'll have an idea of what we are making while we fold our papers. So here I added these tags. And this one opens up and we have our photo mats inside. And we have a room here for a photo, and this one opens here, and we have a page there, and then another page. And then here we have a pocket with this folio and a few photo mats. We have room here for more photos. And then on this other page, it is divided in half. This one opens here, and then on the other side opens here and it is magnetized. We have a few more tags in here and photo mats inside. These tags hold the page, and we have here a photo mat to tuck in here. And then this page opens up. And then in here we have more room for photos. This one opens here, and then this other one here. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. So let's see the tutorial. For my cover, I am going to use this one that I already made in a previous video. I leave you the link to that tutorial in case you want to see how I made it. This cover measures 8 by 6 and the spine is 8 by 1.5. I am also going to use this 6x8 paper pad from Simple Stories. It is called Flea Market. I've had it in my stash for about 2 years and I finally decided it was time to use it. I went to the warehouse sale they had in July. I saw they had the brats for this collection, but I didn't get them. And I regret it because they were really cute. But I do have a few things left over from a previous album. I have the chipboard pieces and I already used a few of them. I also have the bits and pieces. I also got the floral beads. And these are a few scraps of the 12 by 12 paper from that album I made. This is a collection I am going to use today, and now let's start with the spine. I am going to need a paper that measures 7/3 by 7/3, and I am going to score at 2, 2.5, 3, 3/3, 3/7, 4/3, 4/3, 5/1/4, and 5/3. Okay, so now I am going to skip the first line and then I'm gonna fold the second line, and now I can join these together, and I'm gonna continue that to form an accordion. I'm gonna skip one line, then I am going to fold the next one and join those together. Okay, skip one line, fold, and then I have these two together. And we have our paper fold. We are going to have 3 pages in here. Now I'm going to turn these and start adding the glue on the back. Okay, and now I can join here and press with the bone folder. All right. Now the second. Okay. I like to use glue for my spine. I think it holds really good, so that's what I usually use. Okay, now I can join these two, and we have our 3 hinges. Okay, I'm just gonna press a little bit to make sure everything is well glued. Okay, now I'm gonna bring my scissors and cut every corner only on the hinges. This is gonna make easier to place my pages when I put them on top of the hinges. And now I'm gonna add glue on the back, and then I'll um, place this on the cover. All right, so this is going to go in the center. I really want to make sure that it is centered, and then I can press everywhere. This is, we need to press here on each gusset, making sure everything is well glued, because this is gonna hold our pages, so we want a strong spine. Okay, so I take my time pressing here. And I also like to check on these spots, and I use this fine tip to add glue if it needs it. And also on this side, I'm gonna check if it needs a little bit more glue. Okay. And now I'm going to fold in here. I am using the bone folder from the envelope punch. I really like it for this. It helps me to fold well my covers. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, and now two of my pages are gonna have the same base. So for that, I'm gonna need two papers that measures 8¾ by 5¾ and two of 7¾ by 5¾ I'm gonna take the first two, and with the first, I'm going to fold to score half an inch along two sides. Okay, and now I'm gonna take the second and score those as well. And next, I'll fold the tabs and cut the corners of each tab. All right, so now I am going to take my smaller piece, and this one I will place it on top. First, I'm going to add glue on just one side, one of the tabs of my paper. This way, it'll help me to line up the edges. So this will go on top, and first I make sure everything is aligned. And now I can press down. Okay, so now I can press with the bone folder, making sure everything is well glued, and then I can add glue to the other tab. You can do both at the same time. I just decided this time to make one at a time, making sure everything is well aligned. Okay, so this is going to be my first signature page. I am going to repeat the same process with the other paper I have. And here I have the two signature pages. Now I'm going to start creating the inserts I'm going to add on each page. I'm going to cut a piece of paper measuring 7¾ by 5½. And I am going to score half an inch along the 5½. Next, I cut a piece of paper measuring 8½ by 7¾ I'll score at half an inch, and then flip the paper over to score at 3. Okay, before I fold this, my last page is going to have the same design, so I have another piece with the same measurements, and I am going to score again at half an inch, and on this one half an inch, flip it over, and 3 inches. Okay, so I have both of them, and I am going to set this aside for later, and I am going to fold this set first. Okay, I have this one ready and I'm gonna cut the corners of my tabs. And I'm bringing my signature page. I'll apply glue to the first tab and attach it in this position. So I am going to add glue in here and then to the other side. I am starting with the inside edge of my tab and attaching it so the tab sits inside the signature page. So I am carefully positioning it just past the score line to make sure it will fold correctly. So make sure it passed the score line. And once it is in place, I can press down and burnish it. All right. And now I am just going to add some glue here to close this pocket. And you can leave it open and tuck a photo mat inside, but this time I don't want to add any additional paper inside. So I am keeping this album simple and I am gluing it shut. Okay. Now I am going to add this other paper on top. I'll glue the tab and position it right over the piece I just attached. I turned my paper because it is easier for me to work for this side since I am right-handed. But this flap will end up on the left side. Okay, I am making sure everything is aligned and I can burnish down. And this is how it's going to look. Now let's do the back side of the page. This paper measures A3/4 by 2/3. This is going to be a pocket, so I am going to score 3 sides at 1/2 inch. You can make this pocket a little wider. On the screen you can see the original size, but also I'll added an alternative size you could try. One of the photo mats in my album kept slipping out, and since this pocket will be placed on the side, right here, making it slightly larger will really help keeping everything in place. I am also using this punch, I think it's from EK Tools, to add a decorative edge to my pocket with these circles. So I am going to glue this pocket on the left side of my signature page. I'll add glue only on one side. And since this is a small pocket, I am also going to add a little tape on top of the flap. So whatever I put inside can slide all the way through. Unless you decide to add the design paper on top, then the tape won't be necessary. But since the collection I am using is small, I want to make sure I save as much paper as I can. So I am gonna add the tape. Okay. And now I can close this pocket. So I am going to add glue on the rest of the flaps and close it down. Okay. And now we have this page ready. Okay, I have this scrap from the cut aparts of my 12 by 12 paper, and I am going to use it to make a folio as well as a few photo mats to tuck into this pocket. So I am going to fold in half a piece of paper that measures 8.5 by 6 1/4. And I'll tuck it into the pocket. You can trim it to the size of your photo mat or whatever you decide to put inside. Our second page is going to be divided in half. Here are the measurements we need. 2 pieces of 3.5 by 3/7, 2 other pieces of 3/7 by 5/3, and 2 other pieces at 4/7 by 5/3. Okay, so I am taking the last piece to score at 1/2 inch. But make sure to start from the left side. Here I am realizing I started on the right, which would make my paper bigger than I need. So I turned it to the other side and scored it again to the correct side. So now I'll turn it again and score 1/2 inch. Okay. And now I can do the same with the other paper. Score 1/2 inch, turned, and score 1/2 inch again. Okay. And now I am going to take these small ones and I am going to score 1/2 inch along the 3.5, and the same with the other paper. And now I'm going to fold on the score lines and cut the corners of my tabs. Now I am going to take this paper with the tabs and place this other one on top to create like a pocket. And then this flap is gonna go in here with the tab inside the pocket to close the pocket. I'm gonna glue everything together. Okay, now I have these two pieces ready. This is gonna be the second page, and I'm gonna add this flap in here. So this is gonna go on the right side on the top pocket. I'm gonna place the flap, and then on the other piece will go on the back on the left side. So it will look like this. When I flip the top, there won't be any flap on the back, and when I flip the bottom, the flap will be on the left. Okay, so let's glue it all together. Okay, so this is the second page. Now let's do the third. This page and the back of my front cover will have the same design. So I'll need two pieces of 6 1/4 by 5 3/4 and another two pieces of 6 3/4 by 2.5. I am going to score all, but I'll save one set aside for later. So this piece is going to be a pocket, and I need to score it at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. And this one, I am going to score it 1/2 inch along the 6 1/4. This is the first set, and I'll score the next the same way. And after that, I'll cut the corners and fold the tabs. Now I'm gonna bring my signature page, and the pocket will go at the bottom and the flap will be on top. For the flap, I'll glue it right along the edge on the right side, and on the left side I am going to trim a little so that when I fold my page it doesn't get damaged from being too close to the hinge. So I am going to bring in my trimmer and cut just a little bit. Okay, I think I need to cut a little bit more. Okay, I think this is fine. And I am also going to check that the pocket doesn't extend too far. And here I just need to pull it in a little to make it shorter. Also on the other side. And I just want to check if it fits. And I think it looks good. So I am going to start gluing everything together. Remember to glue it all the way to the right side and leave a small gap on the left side where the hinge will be. So I am aligning this carefully and then we can burnish it down. Okay. Now I can attach the pocket, and again I will glue first the bottom flap, aligning it to the right side. And I'll add tape on top of the flap to let the inserts go all the way down. And okay, just right there. And then I can glue the other flaps and close the pocket. Okay, and we are done with this side of my page. Now let's move to the back, and for this I'll need a piece of paper measuring 5 1/4 by 6 3/4, and I am going to score it at 1/2 inch along the 6 3/4 side. Then I'll fold the tab and cut the corners, and I'm going to attach this flap on the back of the page we just finished all the way to the left side. Okay, just right there. And once it's in place, I'll burnish it down really well. And here I am also going to add a magnet. So I am going to write it down to don't forget to add it. And I'll bring my other pages to check where the rest of the magnets will go. Before adding the magnets, I am going to bring in the papers I reserved for the inside covers. On the back of the front cover, I am adding the pocket with the flap on top, and the back cover will have the same design as the first page. These are the magnets I am using, and I'll link them on the description box below. These ones hold really well and I really like them, but when I need something stronger, my go-to are these other ones. Right now I only have the larger size, but it is fine. I wasn't planning to use them for this project, so I am going to use these from Amazon, and I'll link them both, and you can choose which one works best for you. Here's how I placed the magnets. I added a pair in here, another pair on the first page, and another set, one at the top and one at the bottom. You could add just one, but I decided to use two. The back of this page doesn't need a magnet, but here I added a pair and another at the bottom half in here. This one doesn't need a magnet, and in here I added another set. On this page, I repeated what I did on the first two magnets here, and I'll add another one here once I attach these two pieces together. In this section, I also added a magnet, and again, once I attach this onto my cover, I can glue the magnet onto the chipboard. At this point, I've already chosen the placement of my design paper. I also added some seam binding to a few pieces and double-sided tape to the back of each one. I'll start adding them to my white cardstock, but first I'll show you how I am finishing the inside covers. So here I decided to glue down the pocket first. I am adding glue on each tab of my pocket, and you can also add tape here and on top of the large flap, but I didn't this time. I just played my pocket at the bottom and burnished it down, and now I am adding the flap on the top area. Okay, so I am going to check that everything is aligned with the uh, pocket at the bottom. And now I can open here and burnish it down. Okay, and now I am going to add this beautiful green paper in here. I am using glue for this part because it is easier when I need to add this into the pocket instead of the double-sided tape. Now I can press down and give it a good burnish. And on the back, I have these flaps ready. Remember, these were two pieces that I already attached together and covered with design paper, and I am just going to glue this onto the back cover, um, placing it to the left side and leaving about 1/8 inch gap from the edge. And now I can press down firmly. Okay. This is also the moment to add a magnet to the chipboard before placing your design paper. I actually forgot it at first, but luckily I started with one side of the design paper. So I was able to add the magnets under the design paper, but I was struggling for a couple of minutes trying to find the right place where the magnets had to go. Especially because the magnets of the first flaps were already attached and the magnets at the bottom were moving to pair with the wrong magnets. But finally, I managed to get the magnets in the right spot, and I really hope that doesn't happen to you. Okay. Okay, now it's time to move to the spine, and I am going to bring my pages. Before gluing the pages on the second hinge, I'm gonna take my ruler and I'm gonna find the center of this page, and it is gonna be 3/7/8. So I'll put a mark in there, and now with the scissors I'll cut right on that mark, and then also cut it an angle to form two separate tabs or hinges. Okay, just right there. And now we have these two separate hinges for the pockets. So I'll start with the first page, by adding glue on both sides of the hinge. Okay. Okay, so I'm making sure everything has glue on it, and I'll take my page, open it at the bottom, and place it on top of the hinge, right after the score line, not over it. We need to leave that line free to open it easily. Now I can press here and also on the sides. All right. Okay. And now I'm gonna bring these two pieces, and these are gonna go in here. So let's start with the top side. I am going to add the glue on both sides of my hinge. And I'm going to spread it all over the hinge. And now I can take my pocket and open it and place it on top, all the way to the top. Okay, and now press down and burnish it just right there. Okay, now I am going to take the other pocket and I'm gonna add glue in here again on both sides of my hinge. Okay, and now I can take my pocket, open it, and place it on top. And this time I'm trying to slide it down so it doesn't overlap in the middle. Okay, and now I can press here. All right. And now I can glue the third page. Okay, this part is ready. I still need to add a few details to the white cardstock, but I want to work on the cover first so I can use the scraps for the rest later. Here I'm going to add a seam binding to close my album, and I am marking at 4 inches on both sides of my covers. And then I am going to add double-sided tape to attach my seam binding. And now I'm just gonna leave you with some music so you can enjoy the process of decorating the cover. And this is the final project. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I won't go through the pages again since I already showed them at the beginning. But if you make this album, don't forget to tag me. I'd love to see your creations. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!